Now, I can't think of anything funny, but I always had this curious thought, so I'm gonna ask this question. It's for the Game of Thrones fans. If you were to be a character in Game of Thrones, so it's what you'd actually be, what you'd want to be, and what you'd actually be if you had to be one of the main characters. And so the first one is, I'd probably just be some random dude, obviously. We're just gonna be random characters, right? I'd probably just be some random dude from Fleabottom who'd probably try to be a squire and try to be a knight or something like that, and end up getting killed by something random. Who I'd want to be? Tormund, because he's a pretty fun character, and I think Brianna Tarth is pretty damn cool. Who doesn't want to date her? Or Barristan Selmy, because he's a badass. And number 3, knowing damn well who I am, Peter Baelish. Chaos is a ladder, and I'd be trying to climb it all day. I know it already. I'm different. Okay, so... welcome, friends! LostScarf here, and it's time for the vlog, and it's in 1080p! I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if I could tell. We got the new compy built, talk about it in a second, but just talk about 1080p resolution. Everything's so small, and there's so much empty space. Like, wow, there's just a lot of empty space. It's freaking me out. The writing's so small, and I have to get used to it. So small, minuscule, so small, so tiny, so Asian. There you go. Yeah, just got to get used to it. So, what are the compy specs now? So they're over here. So our CPU is an AMD Ryzen 7 1700. Our RAM is a 16 GB DDR4, 3222 megahertz. That's a funny number. Vid card is a GeForce GTX 970. Our power is 550 watts. We might want to go up on that. We're using a G105 Logitech keyboard, G500 Logitech mouse, or we're using the Mionix GX, whichever one we need at the time. Windows 10, OBS, and Shadowplay for recording, and we're using Adobe Audition and Premiere for audio cleaning and video editing. And then there's a lot of other things we're using as well. So those are our specs. Building all that by hand was a beach. Oh my god. Putting the motherboard and realizing... putting the motherboard, doing something wrong, and having to take out the motherboard, and then putting in the motherboard again. By the way, I got everything done. Everything was built after like 7 hours. You know that part in the back of your computer where it's all the motherboard plugs? And some of the little metal things were on the outside instead of the inside. And it's like... I could take apart literally everything to put these in. Or, you know, break these off, because god dang it. So I just broke them off. But it's just like all that work, and these little things were there. Putting in the CPU itself was easy. Putting on the cooler was a pain in the ass. I thought I was going to break the motherboard while putting the cooler on. It's this giant fan. This giant AMD fan that's glowing red now, so that's a thing. Like, I have a glass wall on the compy, because for some reason that's what they do now, is glass walls. And it's just a red light in there. So it's like, okay, so my compy is freaking plotting, I guess. I don't know. But it's this big AMD fan, and it's in there now, and that was really heavy. And I accidentally got my finger on the adhesive at first. And just getting it on there and just trying not to break the motherboard while screwing it in. Because it feels like I'm bending the motherboard I was doing, but it's in there, it's in there. Motherboard, all this by hand. I got stabbed by the motherboard a few times. Getting stabbed by the motherboard is not fun. At all. Not at all. It was... You know what's really frustrating? Putting in the little cords. Putting in, like, power switch and negative power, whatever. It's positive. What about the reset switch? All these little things, those little things, and getting stabbed repeatedly? Really frustrating. Really frustrating. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. And then just finding cords and putting them in the right place and everything. Putting the RAM was also frustrating because it just wouldn't click in. Eventually it did. The video card was super easy. Just in, and it was fine. It was like, yay, video card was the only easy part. The hard drives only took a little bit to do. What's weird is in this case, it's a, what's this case called? There's no labeling. Okay, so I don't know. Oh, wait. It's a Pure 700 or something. This case has these 2 slots for SSDs in the back, and it doesn't fit the SSDs. So, poop. So had fun putting in an SSD in the thing. Didn't work, so I had to mount it in the hard drive area. There's space for a there's space for a C drive. Not using a C drive because no one uses C drives right now. Which I don't know. Maybe have an external for that. I have 3.0 USBs, USB 3s, whatever they're called. I don't know. I have USB 3 slots. So that should make things faster. I have a switch where I can make the fans go faster on the front of this thing, so I'm just going to put it on. Can you hear that? Really loud. I'm going to just put it back down. Really loud when you put it to max. Holy crap. But we have 2 front fans, 1 in the back. We're going to put 1 in the top soon. We're ordering what we need to put the fan in the top. There's no space for a fan on the bottom. But there's a bunch of fans in there. We're going to try to put more besides the 2 that are in the video card and the 1 that's on the CPU. We're going to put at least 1 more fan. And funny thing, learned that old copy, the fans were in backwards. So I wonder how that affected heat management. I was asked to take pictures. I forgot to take pictures. I can still take pictures if I remember to next time, since I still got to install 1 more fan. Let's see, what else is there? Crap ton of just USBs and cords everywhere, because we have video cameras and this Samsung and everything for recording. And of course, yeah, I mentioned it now. We're experimenting with 1080p. It's going to be a while until we figure it all out. This is going to be the first 1080p video, just using the face cam for the experimentation. We've been doing a bunch of benchmarks. We've been recording with the OBS, with shadow play, different settings on those. Seeing what works best and most efficient, just figuring all that stuff out. I think we're also messing with codecs. And we'll see what works. The goal is to record in 1080p. I really want to record Destiny 2 in 1080p. I really want to record Wolfenstein 2 in 1080p. I really want that. Streaming in 1080p, we will experiment with it. Whether we do that or not is a different story, but we will experiment with it because it also relies on bitrate, maybe? I'm a little ignorant on this, but 1080p should be a bigger size thing that needs to be uploaded to streaming, so I figured it'd be more taxing in that way, and my internet's not the most amazing thing. It's good, but it's not that amazing. So I think we have to still figure that out. But if we can stream in 1080p, we'll try and see how it works out. It's still time to experiment. Oh, so according to Jinx, so our old CPU was a 4-core. We now have an 8-core with hyper-threading, so it can fake being 16 cores. So should be really good. We tested out rendering stuff. I gotta tell you this. So with old compy, if we rendered an hour-long thing, it would take an hour, like give or take some time, maybe down to 40 or 50 minutes, and up to maybe an hour 10, hour 20. An hour of footage now takes 5 minutes to render. That's 720p though. It takes 5 minutes. That's amazing how much stronger the CPU is. Holy crap. Going up to 1080p, the rendering should take a bit longer, but we have a much stronger CPU, so that should be really good. But damn, this is a way stronger CPU. Holy crap. Can't wait to see what the motherboard is capable of as well. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? I made a list so I can be more organized, and yet I'm still... I think that's everything. If you can help it, don't build your own computer, goddammit. No. So, it's nice to have a better understanding of your computer by building it yourself. It was just really frustrating at times, having to put in the little things, and getting stabbed, and cord management. Oh my god, cord management. There's just cords everywhere. Try not to get your cord stuck in any fans or anything, of course, but just, oh my god, cord management is bleh. Yeah, building your own company. So, it's more expensive than realized, because Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 10 was locked to the motherboard, apparently. So we installed all this stuff, and then Windows like, oh, hey, yeah, you need to buy Windows. It's like, shoot. So we had to buy Windows 10, so that was a punch in the that's a kick in the rocks. We have to buy more equipment. For this reason, we got the Switch. Okay, so we got a Switch, so we can start doing Switch stuff as well. We have Mario Rabbids and we have Mario Kart. Mario Rabbids, I want to stream that. I want to LP stream that game. Also downloaded Octopath demo. I want to check that out on stream as well. But we can't do it just yet. We need certain equipment, so we've ordered that equipment. It should be here eventually, and then we're going to experiment with streaming Switch. What's this next time? Streaming Switch. So we're going to experiment with that soon enough as well. That's going to be awesome. And we are making a big push here. Making a big push. We finally upgraded for 1080p and just better CPU and everything. We got the Switch, so we're going to do Switch content as well. And I think I said it before, is episodic stuff will be on the main channel, and then streaming, just whatever random streaming stuff will go on the Scarf Plays channel. So we're going to have the main channel and a sub channel. The thought process there is just having all of our stuff on YouTube as well for anyone who prefers VODs over watching live streams. So there's that as well. Just to serve two different groups right there. Trying to think of anything else. That's it. As far as the push for the side channel, it'll be there, and then eventually we'll start advertising the side channel again, so that you know that's there if you want the VODs for whatever. And the reason for that is just so we're able to have really good quality with that, instead of like Twitch's quality. Twitch's quality is not always the best. While YouTube, you can have really good quality there because it's recorded and such. Since we're recording at such a high quality rate. Okay, but yeah, Destiny 2, Wolfenstein 2, those will be right out the gate. We'll do those. Shadow of War, we've talked about it so many times, Shadow of War. It's just never positive thoughts on it. So the DLC for the orc, if you didn't know, is now free. That orc is now just free. I guess they're going to get money to the family a different way. It's just because how scummy it really was, the whole DLC thing for charity, just because it wasn't really. And they keep trying to justify the loot boxes, and it's really, really annoying. They're like, yeah, we actually have been balancing the game without loot boxes. We have not turned that on. We've just been playing it and bouncing around that, so you don't have to worry about your single player experience. Then why do the loot boxes exist? Because since they also, why did I do a voice for the guy's voice anyway? That's annoying. I mean, that's not nice, but it's they've been balancing the game without the loot boxes in mind, which means it's kind of the same situation as Human Revolution then, in that they shoved in the microtransactions into Human Revolution, Deus Ex Human Revolution, in like the Mankind Divided, not Human Revolution, or both, I can't remember actually right now. They shoveled them in at the end, and it made the game really badly balanced, because people who bought the microtransactions, they were extremely broken, and the game was just a cakewalk, and that's really not good. So is Shadow War going to be the same thing, where buying loot boxes just makes the game a cakewalk? Because earlier they were saying, like, it'll just save you time. And they were doing the defense of, well, what these loot boxes do is they allow you to save time in case you're worried you're not going to be able to experience the whole game, because you don't have a lot of time. It's like, why would you devalue your game in that way is the question there, because you want to be able to take your time with the game. Like, you want to get immersed in a world and be in there and enjoy it and have fun with it. Why would you want to pay to skip it? Why would you want to pay to cakewalk through an experience? It doesn't make any sense to me. I know they're doing gymnastics to try to justify what they're doing, but they're doing it poorly, and it's just not very good. So you buy the game for $60, and then you buy these loot boxes to devalue the game for yourself. You're spending more money to make the game worth less, because you're getting through the game faster because you have better stats, or you got these better works, or whatever. If the multiplayer mode was separate, I suppose, and you're just getting the orcs for that multiplayer mode and everything like that, that would be a curious, different thing to argue about. But since it's all combined into one with single player and multiplayer, as far as these loot boxes go, it's still really stupid and scummy to have microtransactions in a single player game. It's really freaking weird to do that stuff. It's very odd. It's extremely it's insulting. It really is. And the problem is, of course, is as time goes by, with the newer generations, the goalposts have changed. Because for them, they're used to having this crap microtransactions thrown on them. They're used to having these... They're used to having crappier quality. This is the thing. As time goes by, the new generations get used to whatever things corporations have done. And that's something corporations rely on. That is the whole idea of, if we keep at it, the older generations are getting older, and there's new people, there's new customers, new generations, who this is all they know. They don't know the concept of when cosmetics and all this stuff was actually just part of the game and not DLC. They don't know that concept. They don't know the concept of all these things. They don't know the concept of, you can get everything in the game, it's all available, and you just have to play a little bit for it, or it's just things you earn. Now it's things you can buy, or you can only buy them. That's all these kids know, and that's really frustrating. It's just because this is what the next generation knows. They only know this, they don't know back when it wasn't this. And so the older generations have to make concessions. We're like, okay, fine, all the cosmetic stuff, sure, you can make that. Paid DLC, sure, why not? Because it does take work to put those in. But when it comes to core gameplay, we've always fought back on that, I feel. Buying loot boxes for power in a single-player game is really freaking weird. And it's really dumb. And it's frustrating because Shadow of War is something that shouldn't be doing that. It feels like they should be better than that, but because they're attached to WB, they're doing what they're doing. And because of that, I just have no interest in the game anymore. The last straw for me was the Orc, because, like, are you kidding me? That's really scummy. And they've gone back on it, but it's too late now. It really is. It sucks. And as I've said before, Shadow of War is going to make a lot of money, and nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change, because you buy the game, even if you don't buy any of the microtransactions, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything at all. It really doesn't, because they got the 60 out of you. All that microtransaction stuff is bonus, that's extra, and they're going to make a plenty of money off the whales anyway. They don't care about average Joe buying these things, they care about the whales buying them. Simple as that. Well, for me, it's just, I'm not even going to spend any money on the game. I'm not going to buy the game. Just not. I'm not happy with this. And if somehow a ton of people were like that, and the game somehow failed, the blame would not go on WB, the blame would go on Monolith for not making a good enough game, for not advertising well enough. It would go on them, not on WB. That's what's frustrating about the situation is, there's no winning here. There's none. There really isn't. There is no winning here. It's very frustrating. And it's, at the end of the day, with a lot of things, it comes down to what you're okay with yourself. And for me, I'm not okay with this, so I'm not going to buy it. Simple as that. I'm going to miss out on a pretty great game, I'm sure. Maybe we'll just get it in, like, whatever, a couple years when it's way cheaper, so I actually get to experience it. But I'm not willing to shell out the money, pay $60 for a game that wants me to spend even more for some stupid reason in a single-player game. I just don't understand it. I really don't. It's very frustrating. This was my game of the year to play. Like, Shadow of War was the game I really wanted to play. So, just annoyed. Just annoyed on that one. Anything else? There's only one thing left to talk about, and that is Scarf has a job. I got called. I will have a job. It'll be a laboratory technician job. It's gonna be like 9 hours a day job. You get to choose your own hours, and what's suggested is trying doing 5:30 in the morning to 3. The reason for that is you're right before traffic and right before traffic on both. Working from 5:30 to 3 means you avoid just the crunch of traffic in the morning, which can be 1 to 2 hours long, and you're going right before the traffic, which can go 1 to 2 hours long as well. And because I freaking hate traffic, I'm going to be willing to try to do this, because I don't want to be stuck in traffic for freaking 1 to 2 hours in the morning and at night. I've been in that. I've been at points where 4 to 5 hours of my day is just driving every day, and I do not want to do that again. So, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try being really early and in the afternoon and pull that off. what that does for the channel is what I've been saying the last couple of weeks. Going to try to do 5 to 8 or 6 to 9, and then go to bed at 10, and then that's just the routine of the day. That's what I'm going to try to do. We'll see if that works out. Hopefully it does. And if it doesn't, we'll adapt, we'll make changes, whatever we need to do to just get right with having a job and doing the channel and everything. And, yeah, so I got a job finally after all these long years of trying to get a job. We got a job. This is great. And schedule may change again because it's a lab tech job, but I'm still trying to get my water operator job. So that may change that may change the schedule as well. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, laboratory technician should be in late October, early November is when the job happens. So everything changes then. Fortunately, we'll be in Destiny 2 by then, and we will be in Wolfenstein 2 by then, I think. Hopefully. I hope we will be. Last note, we did Cuphead yesterday. Cuphead is amazing. Pretty dang fun. That'll all go up on YouTube eventually. That's going to be in 720p, though. That we did not record in 1080p. We're not doing 1080p just yet on that. The first video, of course, will be this as the 1080p. That is everything I can think of right now, and I wrote down for the vlog this week. As always, I am thankful to everyone. The upgrades, the games we play, everything is us together. That's what it is. It is the YouTube ad money. It is the Patreon money. It is the TAD money. We're going to do a push on that eventually in the future. It is now the Twitch bits and subs money. Like, all those things together is why we have such a really nice computer now. It's why we're playing these cool games. It is all this stuff. Together, we're able to do this channel. And as always, I'm excited for what will come up in the future. I'm really grateful for everything. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for you guys and gals. I'm grateful for Jinx. I'm grateful for just everything. I'm really happy with what's going on with us. Our channel, of course, is still on a low point, but we're getting more set up. We're getting our base stronger, and we will get right back up there soon enough. So there you go. That right there is the vlog. I had fun talking. Hope you had fun watching and listening. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.